My mom left me a letter to open on my wedding day. After reading it, I called off my engagement and my family disowned me. I stood in my wedding dress, trembling as I read the words my dead mother had written 5 years earlier. If you are marrying David's son, please reconsider. He destroyed our family in ways I never told you. The wedding was in 3 hours. The man waiting at the altar was my fiancé Eston Blake Partle, David's only son. Mom died when I was 17 after battling cancer for years. Before she passed, she gave my dad a box of letters from me parent, one for graduation, one for my 21st birthday, and one labeled wedding day. Dad handed it to me that morning with tears in his eyes, saying she'd be so proud. I'd known Blake since high school. We reconnected at my office 5 years ago, fell madly in love, and got engaged last Christmas. His father David had always been strangely cold toward me, but Blake insisted it was just his personality. I accepted it turned till I read Mom's letter. David and I had an affair when you were 12, she wrote. When I tried to end it, he threatened to tell your father everything unless I paid him. The medical bills you thought drained our savings? It was blackmail money. I am so sorry, Emma. My hands shook so badly I could barely hold my phone as I called my dad. Is it true about Mom and David? I whispered. His silence was all the confirmation I needed. Why didn't you tell me? I demanded. Because she forgave me for not being there enough, because I loved her too much to tarnish her memory, because you were so happy with Blake. His voice cracked. I thought maybe it was fate's way of making things right. When I told Blake I couldn't marry him, he looked bewildered, then angry. This happened 15 years ago. My dad made mistakes. Your mom made mistakes. What does this have to do with us? Your father blackmailed my dying mother, I said, the words burning my throat. He's been sitting at our dinner table for a year, knowing what he did, and now you are punishing me for it? Blake's voice rose. I love you. I had nothing to do with this. Maybe he was right. Maybe I was being unfair. But every time I looked at him, I saw his father's face parent the man who took advantage of my mother's loneliness, and then bled her dry when she was most vulnerable. When I announced I was calling off the wedding, my aunt part mom's sister Perrin turned on me. She wouldn't want this, she hissed. She wrote that letter in a dark place. Don't throw away your happiness over ancient history, my cousins agreed. My uncle stopped speaking to me. Even my dad, though understanding, seemed disappointed. Maybe they're right, he said softly. Maybe some secrets should stay buried. But I couldn't walk down that aisle. I couldn't look at David sitting in the front row, pretending to be happy for us. I couldn't bind myself to a family built on the foundation of my mother's pain. 3 months later, I am still untangling the financial mess of a canceled wedding. Most of my family still isn't speaking to me. Blake texts sometimes alternating between anger and heartbreak. I've moved to a different city, started a new job. Last night, I found Mom's high school journal while unpacking. Inside was a pressed flower and a note. Remember, Emma, here is freedom and truth, even when it hurts. Maybe someday I'll find someone whose family history isn't intertwined with mine in such a painful way. But for now, I am learning to trust the voice my mother left behind, Perder, the one telling me it's okay to choose truth over comfort. Even when you stand alone, some bonds are meant to be broken, and some pain isn't meant to be inherited. I choose to start my own story on my own terms.